what makes a great coach is somebody that really communicates A, the standard, B, gets his players to buy in, and C, gets us all to understand that great teams don't worry about who gets the credit.
A great coach is one that's intentional, and as is a great player, one that's intentional and understanding about how they learn and being able to adapt in a situation where the people that are coaching aren't coaching in the way that's the most ideal, but you're in charge of being able to make it more ideal.
That's exactly right. A great coach can't be a great coach without great players.
Hey everybody, welcome to Athletes at Law. I'm Todd Burnham, I'm here with Phil McCarthy, and today we are going to talk about what makes a great coach?
What makes a great coach?
Go for it.
The best coach I ever had wasn't a coach that told me I was great or was the one that kept telling me good game. It was the coach that gave specific feedback on what I was doing right, what I was doing wrong, so you knew exactly what impacted the field and what didn't.
Yeah, a great coach doesn't lower the bar, right? A great coach, maintains the standard so you're able to actually achieve it, raise that level or get above it. But they believe in you enough to know that they believe you can make it to that point, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You're not lowering the bar just to keep you on the team. Like, that just impacts everything, especially culture.
That's exactly right. So essentially what they do is they teach the standard, right? Yeah. Here's how we do things. Yep. Here's the level that's expected. And it's your job to rise to that level and to deliver the game in that way.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, so we established a great coach doesn't lower the bar to keep you. How have we experienced it in sports?
Yeah, when we, at Hobart, we had a standard. The standard was that everybody had to find their top of the game. They had to play consistently, and they had to be predictable.
Right.
And then we would trust that coach would take over and say, here's how I am going to strategize with all of you. And we had to just trust that he had a game plan, we had the right offenses, and we were there to deliver on the portion of the game that we contributed to. So I think that what makes a great coach is somebody that really communicates A, the standard, B, gets his players to buy in, and C, gets us all to understand that great teams don't worry about who gets the credit.
Yeah, I think all of those things make sense, and that's they're completely accurate. And a great coach has to be respected. You have to have, something that the players want or the people that you work with want, right? And usually it's knowledge, experience, skill set, an ability to mentor, ability to coach, ability to empathize, have emotional intelligence, be able to understand where people are at. And so if you're able to do those things and people, you have what people want. A portion of it doesn't mean your whole life, but it's something from a professional standpoint, an athletic standpoint, a parental standpoint, anything with teachers. All of these things have to relate to what's attractive about that situation and how can I get better from it?
Yeah, that's it. This is almost like what you get and what you owe. If you get in an environment where you have a great coach and they lay out that standard, and we've created a culture where we understand what we give, we get that, then what we owe, is really finding ways to bring each other up, finding ways to positively deliver our game, and really understanding what our role is and making sure that we don't play outside that role. So I think coaches, the other thing that they do is they got to find a voice to all of their players. So let's just say there's 40 players on the team. They don't have to find 40 different voices, but typically they bucket you. Here's a style of player. Here's how they get their message.
Yeah.
Bucket B, here's how they get their message. Bucket C, there's how they get their message. As a performer, you have to understand that you do fall in one of those buckets. And if one of them is getting more attention or more value, then you should be working to find which one you belong in. And I'll give an example of that. So a lot of coaches have C in their team or C in their players, someone where their most genuine way of delivering leadership hits them. They're in sync. It's easy they know it. They don't even almost have to say it. They give you a look and you understand what they're thinking, right?
Yep.
The next group is either motivated by something slightly differently, understands what you're asking slightly differently, or just needs a little something different to get you there. All right, maybe it's belief. Maybe they need to know that you need to be acknowledged of what you're giving first and to move you in another direction. And then the third bucket could be, hey, these are people that are trying to move forward into these buckets. But right now we're trying to get them a sense of belonging, a sense of belief, we're really coaching and teaching their game so they can elevate. This could be a freshman or a sophomore on a team moving in.
Or a new lawyer joining a firm.
Yes, or a new lawyer joining the firm when we move this over to work.
Yep.
But again, they've got to be adaptable. Every situation, every season has different dynamics. Every players have different dynamics. So great coaches also are pretty adaptable.
That's great stuff. And that you can see that even in the NFL, players coming in and you work the system around the strengths of the important player.
Yeah.
Rather than having it be a system that you're trying to like put a square peg in a round hole.
Yeah.
Right? It sounds to me a lot of this is just coaches with higher emotional intelligence are more impactful.
That's right. So, I mean, so even in the adaptability, everyone has a genuine way that they deliver leadership or coaching. And I think that during the recruiting process, whether you're a professional trying to get a job in a law firm or you're a player looking at the potential colleges that are the right fit with the right culture, with the right voices, add leadership to your deliberate decision making. Right? So if someone
Environments, different environments.
If somebody moves your game in a way and you've understood that this is the type of coach that really gets the most out of me, be searching and asking the right questions during recruiting to see if that's what you generally find. Now, if coaches change and you have to be adaptable to that, you can live with different styles. But if you have one that tends to move you the easiest, the most frictionless, you should be searching to find that. And the same goes for the people you work for and the teams you're going to work on.
Well, and that's a great segue. I mean, if you're in a situation or in an environment where you believe in the people that are on the leadership panel, right?
Yes.
Or the way their vision, the way that they're looking at business, right? I mean, if you're looking at a law firm or any service business, the people that are making decisions have to be, and you have to have the awareness to know that they should be looking at what's going on in the future, right?
Yeah.
Like that's really, really important. And if you have that, then that's a great starting point. You're okay, we are safe for a certain extent, right? But if you don't have that, or if it's all about all hands on deck all the time, that's chaotic, that's not leadership, and that creates dysfunction on the field or in the office, right? So, I mean, these are all the things we just learned from playing sports.
Right? I mean, those dynamics are essentially exactly the same.
Didn't learn it in law school.
Right? Now, again, what could cause confusion in the workplace? I'm not sure exactly what my role is and what do I deliver.
Communication.
Right? So priorities, short-term priorities, I have a list that are the most valuable things that I could do for you.
Right.
But if you don't help me understand what those are or identify them and we're in sync on that, then that could put me in the troubling position of not delivering, and then that affects my playing time, i.e. my performance at work.
All right, how do we get reps on this kind of thing?
So I think first and foremost, pay attention to, you go back to the people you've worked with and figure out who has gotten the most out of you. Also understand how you get motivated. So your natural inclination of motivation could be, I like winning because losing's painful, right? But there's going to be days where you're not going to find your way to that. So you need another lever. And another lever could be, hey, the people I work for can help me find my game, get me on course, keep me moving. And that can come in a leader or a peer who's a mentor or somebody that's just on your team. So really understanding how to ask for help when those moments arrive.
That's good.
Right?
It sounds again like emotional intelligence.
That is the part where it is emotional intelligence.
All right. Yep. All right. What gets better when this gets better?
Well, I think what we find is, every leader performs, but not every performer leads. Right? So it's a two-way thing at all times. So if you're in a position of leading, then you understand if you understand what a great leader's done for you, then you should then project what you could do for another person on the team, right? And we can't get there without both sides of it. So knowing how you like to be led, how you like to be clearly communicated to, knowing what the plan is and getting in sync and executing the strategy is super vital to high performance, right? So when we're missing those pieces, we got to be the person that raises their hand and says, hey, can I have some more clarity here?
Right.
Right? Or can I challenge the strategy or direction we're going? Or B, I'm just going to get done what you said because I'm not doing those other two things. The third thing I can do is execute.
That's really good. I mean, you are in charge of the controllables.
Right?
Right? So the controllables there are, the way that you're going to approach your work, your mindset about change, mindset about the ability for you to do things that might be uncomfortable, like asking questions.
Yes.
Little things like that.
Yeah,
right?
or we're asking for help sometimes.
Yeah.
So help comes in, there's two ways we get help. And when we get one or the other wrong, sometimes we think it affects the other. Let me clarify. there are less than 5-minute type of help that you can get. So if I'm working for Todd and I say, hey, you don't have to leave your desk, less than 5 minutes. I have one thing that I need from you. And that thing will accelerate how I operate this week in my day, in my day-to-day busy stuff.
Right.
But there's also one where I'd say, hey, can I use you have to leave your desk, to go see a client. So we're going to, next Tuesday, set up, this is a big client that we're trying to capture. Having you there would be super helpful. So you see that there's yeses and nos, there's the right amount, there's the right timing to those asks, there's the right level of that ask, and there's also a line where it says, no, that's what I hired you to do.
Right.
Right? And we have to accept all of those things. So I also think knowing how to play between those two asks is super important, because you may say, hey, on a Tuesday, I can't help you with reading that email to the customer that you're going to put out to clients, right?
Yeah.
But then I can't read that as he's not going to be able to help me, because he would definitely get in a car and go meet a giant client to help us bring in a business, right?
Yeah, it sounds to me like the word that comes to mind when I think about this and I'm listening to you is intention and intentional.
Yes.
Right? Coaching, a great coach is one that's intentional, and as is a great player, one that's intentional and understanding about how they learn and being able to adapt in a situation where the people that are coaching aren't coaching in the way that's the most ideal, but you're in charge of being able to make it more ideal.
That's exactly right.
Right?
So, a great coach can't be a great coach without great players. And what I'm saying is a way to get a rep on this is actually understand your game, how you get to it, understand their game, their needs, and how they deliver it. Get those things as close as you can, and you'll find that you're going to be around more of what you'd call a great coach more often than not.
I love it. Good stuff, Phil.
Thanks.
All right, later.
Yep.